Remember Tony Khan back in September when he fired CM Punk live on Collision, and he said that he feared for his life. Concerning the whole AEW All In backstage drama, the little scuffle that was aired on last week when the Young Bucks showed Punk and Jack Perry, you know, having a little scuffle. Tony Khan feared for his life and fired CM Punk, right? This is the scuffle, the so-called fight that Tony Khan was fearful of. He was fearful over two grown men having a little scuffle. But like I said in my last video about this whole situation, this was not a fight. CM Punk, all he did was hook in a front face lock for a couple of seconds. I didn't see him throw any punch. He said he didn't throw no punch, right? Maybe I happened to see a punch, or maybe if you saw it, you probably saw a punch being thrown. Who knows? I didn't really see a punch. Once he hooked in that front face lock, everybody came swarming in and broke up the fight. So what was Tony Khan afraid of? Has this man never seen a fight a day in his life? My question is, has he ever seen a real fight in his life? Because we know for a fact he never been in one. I know for a fact this man ain't never been in no scuffle. He's never been in no fight ever. But he was fearing for his life over a front face lock. I'm not making this up. Tony Khan literally said, I was fearful of my life. I was fearing for my life. CM Punk did not come charging at Tony Khan. Okay? Charging at someone is you're running up to someone. That's charging at someone. Did you see in that footage CM Punk ever charging at Tony Khan? No. If you look at those monitors right there, oh shit, my bad. If you look at those monitors on the side where Jack Perry's next to, that's where Tony Khan is. CM Punk is literally, CM Punk is right next to those monitors, right? He's like within a couple of feet. He wasn't charging at Tony Khan. He was raising his voice at Tony Khan, probably yelling, "I quit. This place is a joke." Yes, he was yelling at Tony Khan. He wasn't charging at him. So I don't see how this guy was fearing for his life. I think Tony Khan, honestly, man, he is a bitch. Like straight up, he's a bitch. A coward. You're going to be fearing for your life over a front face lock. Have you seen a UFC fight? Have you seen a boxing match? Have you watched Mike Tyson knock out a man? I mean, come on, man. Listen, me and my brother, when we were kids and we were fighting and wrestling around and, tackling one another, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we were going at it. Okay, this right here was nothing. When I think back to when me and my brother were, fighting when we were younger, we were going at it. You know what I'm saying? The Jack Perry and CM Punk were barely going at it. That was not a fight. It was never a fight. CM Punk just went up to him. They had words. Jack Perry said something slick, disrespectful, most likely, you know, for CM Punk to put him in that front face lock hold. He choked him a little bit. That's what he said. Literally nothing to like this was nothing. Like we're wasting our time, on this fight, this scuffle, right? With this whole Jack Perry CM Punk situation. I'm just talking about how Tony Khan sounds like a coward saying oh, I feared for my life. That's crazy. That tells me right there Tony Khan is soft. It's like, bro, you have a roster filled with wrestlers, pro wrestlers that are out there aggressive every single week. Okay, they're performing a match. Okay, they're script fighting. They're out there getting physical. Don't act like you ain't seen grown men wrestling in their tights, getting physical and aggressive with one another. And you're gonna sit on that monitor and act all fearful and act like a scared little girl and going live on television saying I feared for my life. That's bullshit. That's some BS, man. Like straight up. I just got to call like I see it. For anyone that thinks that this was a fight, obviously y'all never seen a fight a day in your life. And you never been in one either. I've seen girls at my middle school going ham on one another in the cafeteria. When it was lunchtime, man, I seen these girls, man, throwing haymakers left and right, tackling one another. Man, they weave is being pulled out. Them girls in my middle school were going at it harder than Jack Perry and CM Punk. Pause. But real talk, this was embarrassing. This was pathetic. Why even air this? I mean, for a lot of other content creators, they're going to be talking about this, including myself. This is content for me. This is content for everyone else that's going to talk about this. I mean, there's still people talking about it. Everybody's still talking about it. But I'm looking at this like, really, AEW? Really? Wow. You had a slight increase in ratings. Congratulations. You're going to go back down to the same number because you're not focused on building your company around the stars, the wrestlers that you have now. You're not focused on actually creating riveting storylines for the fans to be engaged with, to be interested in. Like there's a lot of potential with the storylines that they're trying to build right now. But they're too focused on 5-star matches every week. We can get that at the pay-per-view. That's why people are going to buy the pay-per-view in the first place because it's about wrestling, it's about settling the storylines. It's about finalizing the feuds, the blow off, right? On your weekly shows, Dynamite Collision, that's where you build up the storylines. That's where you get people hooked into the stories that you're telling. It's not about the wrestling. On Dynamite and Collision, it's about building up the story. That's what it is about. How hard is that to figure that out? It's not hard to figure out. I think Tony Khan needs somebody else to kind of help run the ship here because he can't do it by himself. I hear that he's writing the shows by himself. I don't know how true that is, but if that's the case, man, that's not good. So, I mean, once again, I stand on what I said. Tony Khan, he's a bitch. Only a bitch gets all fearful and scared over a front face lock. That's what CM Punk did. And then CM Punk yelled at Tony Khan. That's it. If another man was yelling at me, what am I gonna be scared of for? What am I gonna be scared of? Okay, he's yelling at me. Big deal. Unless he putting hands on me, unless he finna throw down, I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not budging. Okay. Like, unless you are God himself, I am not to be fearful of anything. Real talk. But anyway, you know, ultimately this was nothing. This was just a waste of time for AEW to air this footage. It really accomplished nothing at all. So, you know, it is what it is. Make sure y'all like the video for the algorithm. Subscribe for more content. This is a Rational Wrestling Mark with another edition of Rational Wrestling Talk. And I'm out, and peace.